All right, folks, the Super Bowl is all but over, and that is a wrap on the 2024-2025 football season. And I didn't expect to be doing this video in the third quarter, but what a beatdown that was. That was insane. The Eagles, to me, look like they are by far the best team in the NFL, and they were the team that should have won the Super Bowl this year. And I've got 6 things written down here that I want to talk about. So number one, I thought the Eagles' defensive line was the MVP. When you have Davis, Sweat, and Carter, they're running after you every single play. I thought they completely changed this game. If you look through 3 quarters, the Chiefs and Mahomes were under pressure 52% of the time, and they hadn't blitzed one time. That is complete domination by a defensive line right there. I thought they were the best unit on the field, and they completely changed this game. And Mahomes had his worst game I've seen in a very long time, had 2 pretty bad picks, really couldn't get anything going, tried to escape the pocket a few times and couldn't do it. That defensive line was phenomenal, and if they keep those 3 players on the defensive line there, they are going to be really hard to beat for a long time. Number 2, I thought this was Jalen Hurts' best game that I've ever watched him. If you told me in the first half Saquon Barkley would have 31 yards, I would have told you the Chiefs had won by 21 points, but I thought he did have the one bad pick, but there were multiple third downs where they had nothing going on, and he just took off with it. He had a couple great deep balls, and I thought this was the best game he's ever played that I've watched at least, and I was really impressed with what I saw. Number 3, I apologize for what I said about Nick Sirianni. All year long and for the past couple of years, I was thinking, man, this guy is a terrible coach. I hate his play calling. He has some strange decisions. But one team was ready to play today, and one team was not. The Chiefs killed themselves time and time again with penalties. You could tell they did not have a game plan, very well thought out game plan. They really had no answers for the Eagles' defensive line. And I thought the Eagles were just super buttoned up and ready to go. And I rescind everything I've said about Nick Sirianni in the past. Number 4, this reminded me a lot of Super Bowl 48 when the Seahawks played the Broncos in New York, and it was pretty evident from the get-go that there was one team that had a lot more talent on the field. That defensive line was completely taking care of the Chiefs' offensive line, and on the flip side, the Eagles' offensive line, there was not a lot of pressure on Jalen Hurts, even in times where they blitzed and it looked like they had a good scheme. They still gave him time, and he had time to make a lot of good throws. Number 5, I think that the Chiefs need to reload. They've been playing with fire with their offensive weapons for a long time. It's pretty evident after today that Travis Kelce is pretty towards the end of his career. This was a game where they could have really used Rashee Rice. Now, I don't think it would have made a damn bit of difference, but it was pretty evident they didn't have anyone to go to the ball quickly right away who could they get a quick pass to and take off with it. And I think they got to reload on both the wide receiver position and offensive line. But again, today, Mahomes, this was one of his worst games that I've ever seen. And number 6, I'm now 0 for 3 in the last 3 Super Bowls picking the Super Bowl. I had the Eagles 2 years ago, I had the 49ers last year, and I had the Chiefs this year. I am 0 for 3, so in the future, if you want to win your Super Bowl bets, just fade whatever I say, and you should be in good shape. So the Eagles took care of this one pretty early on. This was a beatdown, probably the worst Super Bowl I've watched since Super Bowl 48 when the Seahawks dismantled the Broncos. But the Eagles were the best team in the NFL this year, and they're going to go home with a trophy. So we'll talk to everyone later.